Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to be going over 10 things that you can be doing right now to prepare for your AP exams. Now, whether you're taking AP Biology, AP English Literature, any of these could apply to you, but I am going to be referencing some specific resources that could help that I have on my channel, which are more geared towards AP Science exams. But no matter what AP exam you're taking this year, be sure to stay tuned for all 10 tips, because as soon as you know these, you're going to be much more prepared to do well on the day of your exam. All right, number one thing you should do to prepare for your AP exams right now, whether it's 24 hours before your exam or 2 months, is to make a study plan. Think about the time that you have left and chunk it down into sections of time that you can actually do actionable tasks in to study and prepare for the exam outside of what you're doing in class. If you're not sure how to create a study plan for yourself, I do have a whole separate video on that. Now, it is geared a little bit toward AP Biology, but there's examples from all different AP subjects that you can use and enact for your other AP classes as well. So I highly recommend checking that video out if you have not already, but make sure you take some time to make a study plan for yourself, thinking about what exactly you can do with the time you have remaining before your exam this year. Which brings me to number 2. Double check the date and time of your AP exam or exams. The College Board should have these listed on their website. You should also know these from your teacher, and most of the AP exams are taken at the same times. So I'll put the link to the College Board's exam schedule in my description below. Be sure to check that out, and make sure you write it down and mark it in your own personal calendar, set phone alerts, make calendar events so that you do not forget how much time you have left before your exam. Once you know the date and time of your exam, make sure you count backwards to see how much time you have left, and that'll help you better formulate your study plan, which was part of number 1. Item number 3 is to know what's on the exam. You should be familiar by now with the format of the exam, meaning how long, what types of questions, how many sections there are, whether you're allowed a calculator, whether you're allowed other resources, and you should know the content that is covered on the exam. In order to find this out, you can search up the course and exam description for the exam that you are taking, again, through the College Board. The more you know about the exam structure and what's going to be on it, the better prepared you can be, and the better you can plan out what you're going to study over the next few days, weeks, or hours. For example, in AP Biology, there are 2 sections to the exam. The first section is an hour and a half for a multiple choice section. The second section is an hour and a half for free response, and there's a short break in between. So that's a total of 3 hours taking the exam, but that doesn't include the time getting ready, the break time, and then any wrap-up transitional things at the end. Again, be sure not to ignore the content that's going to be on the exam, and this is listed in the course and exam description as well, so that you don't waste time studying something that's not going to show up on the test. Number 4, as you get closer to the time, you want to make sure you gather your materials. Now, for each exam, this is a little bit different. You may need to bring a calculator, you may need to bring a pen or a pencil, you may need to bring a snack, depending on the circumstances that you are taking the exam in. Talk to your teachers about this, what's permitted in the testing room, what's not. You want to make sure that you don't bring anything that you shouldn't, so don't bring your electronic devices or any materials that are not allowed in the exam room, or make sure you know where to check those at the school that you are taking the exam in. You may need a photo ID if you're taking the exam at a school that is not your own, so be sure to check with your teacher about that as well. You're probably not going to need any scratch paper or electronic devices, including smartwatches, so make sure to leave those at home on the day of the test, or at least put them somewhere safe or lock them up in a car or give them to a friend. The earlier you have all your materials ready to go and you know exactly what you need to bring with you on the day of the exam, the less stressful it's going to be preparing the day before. Number 5 thing that you can do to prepare for your AP exams is to review in small chunks. Do not plan on cramming everything into one day or night or weekend before your exam. The sooner you start, the better. Now, if you're watching this video and it's very close to your exam time, you still want to chunk your review down, meaning that you study for 20-minute segments, give yourself a short break, study another 20-minute segment, give yourself a short break. But the more you can parse it out and the more study sessions you have, the more you'll be able to remember and synthesize and put together in your brain for application on the exam. So if you're watching this video, I encourage you to start studying now, whether that's months before the exam, weeks, or days. Even just 5 to 10 minutes of review for each AP exam you're taking every night or every other night can add up to be a lot of extra review when you think about the time that you have. So don't be afraid to squeeze in a short study session, even if it feels like only a few minutes long. Number 6, a lot of students forget about, and that's make sure you prep for your other classes. A lot of AP exams take place during the time you would have other classes normally in school. This means you're going to be missing class materials, maybe for other AP classes too, and you want to make sure you check with the teachers well in advance to let them know that you are taking an AP exam and you will be absent from class during that time, which you'll probably get an excused absence for your school, but you want to be ahead of any makeup work or projects that you will be missing due to this exam. The more you can prepare for those classes that you are going to be missing, the less stressful it's going to be the week and the days leading up to the exam. So go ahead and check in with your teachers now, talk about the absence, talk about what's going to be going on in class if they know during the time of your AP exam, because you already know the date and time, and your teachers should have a general idea of what's going to be going on and what you'll be missing during the time of the exam. If it's a big project or a big test, make sure you make arrangements now to make that up at a different time than your AP exam. Number 7, if you can, you want to do as much practice problems and practice exam taking as possible. This could be just using the College Board's resources, old FRQs that they put out, practice problems that your teacher provides. But if you can, try to make time to sit down for a full-length free response section or a full-length exam if you have the ability to do that. Your teachers might be offering a full practice exam session within the weeks leading up to the exam, and if you can, definitely take that, use it as a dress rehearsal for the real exam. One thing that's really hard is sitting down for the length of time of the actual AP exam, and if you practice that in advance, the less difficult it'll be on the actual day of the exam. Now, you may not have time to do a full-length practice exam for all of the courses that you're taking, but a lot of prep books like Barron's and Princeton Review do have full-length practice exams in them, so you can do that on your own or in smaller chunks in your own time, so you'll get a better feel of the questions and the pacing of the test. Number 8, a lot of students these days, you may be one of them, do not spend a lot of time writing by hand. You want to practice doing this though, because for the most part, you are going to be writing your free response answers to the AP exams by hand. You want to make sure that your answers are both legible and that you can write fast enough to get your ideas out and that your hand doesn't cramp up and get sore during the exam. So if you're in a school where you're not used to writing every single day, you want to make sure you practice doing some writing by hand so that on the day of the test, you're not having problems with actual handwriting. Remember, the AP graders are going to do their best to look at your answers and interpret what you're saying, but the messier your handwriting is, the harder it makes the work for the graders. You want to make sure the people grading your exam have as easy a time possible looking at your answers and interpreting what you're trying to say. Remember, if you write something incorrectly, you just cross it out and move on. Don't waste a lot of time and energy scribbling out wrong answers, but you do want to practice writing by hand. Number 9 thing you can do to prepare for your AP exams is to practice test-taking strategies. These are things not necessarily related to the content in your course, but they're things like time management, looking at multiple choice questions strategically, figuring out exactly how to respond to your free response sections, and I do have several resources for that on this channel, so I'll be sure to link those in the description below as well if you want to check out some of my multiple choice test-taking strategies as well as my free response strategies for things like AP biology. You want to make sure you have a plan in place because more than likely the AP exam is going to be different from the unit tests or assessments that you've been taking so far at your school. Remember, your teacher is not writing these exams, the College Board is, and you want to make sure you prepare for the language, the test style, and any strategy that you can use. For example, eliminating certain answer choices and reading the full question before you actually go and look at the responses and all of that kind of thing before you take the test. Number 10 thing you can do to prepare yourself for your AP exams is to set a goal for yourself and make it a positive one. You want to make sure that you have the motivation throughout your entire study period and the exam to put your best effort forward. With a goal in mind, a specific goal of a specific score or answering a particular number of multiple choice questions correctly, or just getting through the exam with a low stress level, the better mindset you will have when it comes to the actual exam. You also want to talk to yourself positively about this goal. You don't want to threaten yourself or say, if you don't do well, you're going to be a failure, etc., etc. Instead, you want to say things to yourself like, look at this opportunity I have to demonstrate my knowledge in this course and think about all the positive things that could come out of it if you do well. I have another video on setting academic goals, so be sure to check that out if you're not sure exactly how to set a goal for yourself for the exam. But with that goal in mind, you have something to strive for, you've prioritized where you want to put your best effort for the day of the exam, and hopefully you will do your best. So that's it. Those are my 10 things you should definitely do to prepare for your AP exams this year. If you have others that you've used or other things that you think other students should definitely do, please make sure you note those in the comments below. I will say an exciting milestone is about to happen on this channel. We are very close to 1 million total lifetime views on the channel and 5,000 subscribers. Whatever milestone we reach first, it is a huge achievement to have grown this channel this much, and thank you so much for sticking with us this long. Be sure to share this video if it's been helpful and help us get to those really cool milestones that are up ahead. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you later.